Hello everyone, and a big welcome to the Big Assembly 2025, brought to you by Workpays. I'm Taf Mchenje, a marketing executive at Channel 4 and a former social media apprentice. Today I am your host as we dive into why apprenticeships are the best choice for you to make the big leaps in your career. For the last 8 years, the Big Assembly has been the place to discover everything you need to know about apprenticeships and the important role they play in companies and your career. And this year is going to be our biggest Big Assembly ever. Let me say also a big hello to over 190,000 viewers joining us from the thousands of schools, colleges and employees across the UK. And our live audience, should I say, right here in the heart of the Midlands. This event is for you. As you may know, the theme of this year's National Apprenticeship Week is Skills for Life. Apprenticeships are one of the best tools companies have for developing the most talented employees. I can speak so for myself. They're also the best tool for people of all ages to progress in their careers and develop the skills they need to succeed. Something we'll uncover in today's Big Assembly and you can discover throughout National Apprenticeship Week. This year, we are really excited for the Big Assembly to be hosted by Compass Group in their state-of-the-art Xcelerate Centre right here in Birmingham. Like many companies, Compass Group offers countless apprenticeships of all types, from finance and marketing to retail and hospitality. Today, our lucky live audience will have the opportunity to see what life is like as an apprentice, and we're glad that we can bring it to you in the classrooms and the offices and the homes across the UK, and you will have an opportunity to join us. Before we start, don't forget you can get in touch with us at any time through our social media, which will appear at the bottom of your screen, and we'd love to hear from you. We will be directing your questions to our panel. And if we can't get to them live on air, our team behind the scenes will help answer all those additional itching questions. Right. So, without further ado, let me introduce our fabulous Big Assembly panel. Whew. First on our panel, we have Ali Amin, a former electromechanical engineer degree apprentice at Shawpack and part of the East Midlands Apprenticeship Ambassador Network. I mean, I have to say, I didn't even know that you could take an apprenticeship like that. I'd love to hear how you found out about this path and what you've done to get there.
Well, to be honest, I didn't really know either until it came across. And an apprenticeship wasn't my, chosen route to start with. I guess the place where I heard about it through, online platforms. At the time, it was just looking for something to do. Because I had to change, most of you will probably end up going into A-levels is what I wanted to do, but I had to change that very fast due to circumstance. And just online, through the government website, and through job hunting, really.
That's brilliant, Ali. Brilliant. Second, we have Chloe Fernley, a Level 2 Smart Repair Apprentice at Arnold Clark. My question is, how did you get into your apprenticeship and what are your career plans?
So I had already previously applied for apprenticeships when I left school because I knew that was the path I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. I wasn't very good classroom based and I knew I wanted to do something practical, but I just didn't know what was right for me. I just had a look on Indeed and then obviously spray painting came up. But
you've got it now?
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we need. Thank you. Third, we have Danny McBean, who completed his Level 3 electrician apprenticeship at Grant, Stufftown, and represented the UK at the Skills Olympics with World Skills UK in Lyon, France in 2024. Danny, can you tell me a bit about your apprenticeship journey and how taking part in the World Skills competition helped your career develop?
Well, I better start where I started. I was at school, like most of people watching. That's how I found out about apprenticeship. I was going to go down the route of uni, but then realised I preferred a more hands-on approach. So I decided apprenticeship is what I wanted to do. Started off, it also helped that my dad was an electrician, so I was like, seeing what he did, I was like, oh, I enjoy that, so I went down that route.
Laser focused.
Yeah, laser focused.
Brilliant. We'll touch more on that later on. Right. We're also fortunate to be joined by Santine Beach-Frank, who is doing a maintenance and operations engineering technician apprenticeship at Drax. Did being a female in STEM present any challenges for you, and what support was offered to you via this apprenticeship route?
There was a lot of challenges. and it was intimidating to begin with, but I definitely found a lot of support within the company, within the team that looks after me, other colleagues and other women in the industry as well. At Drax we've got a women's working group, which is a really good support network.
Brilliant, thank you. Finally, we have Jonathan Foote, Director of Skills and Early Careers at Compass Group UK and Ireland, to round off our amazing panellists. Jonathan, you're a huge advocate for apprenticeships. Can you tell us why apprentices matter to you and Compass Group?
Yeah, sure. So apprentices is really important to Compass because they are our future talent. Without apprentices, we wouldn't have any talent coming through. But it's also important to think about today, about the engagement with young people, getting into schools, telling people about the opportunities, one within Compass, but also the hospitality sector. There's so many different roles and functions that people think about Compass as being a food industry. It's far more than that. We've got apprenticeships with HR, finance, IT, data, sustainability. Yeah. It's all there in terms of, and then there's a roadmap that will take someone from level 2 right through to degree level. So it's really important for us as a business.
I want to dig into all of those nuggets later on. But thank you all. That was truly, truly incredible and inspiring stuff. So thank you for being with us. Now, let's hear from our partners at IAE with a sneak peek into their apprenticeship program, showcasing how apprenticeships can turbocharge your career.
I'm Thomas Haynes, I'm the procurement apprentice at IE, and I started here last year, so I've been here for just over a year now. So the reason why I chose an apprenticeship, I did go to sixth form originally, but I didn't enjoy it. I knew I wanted to get into a real organisation and start my general working life.
I'd say it's better than anything else for me, because even if you've just got a qualification but you haven't started the job yet, your employer's still going to take a risk on you, whereas when you've already been working there and now you've got your qualification, they're not taking a risk on you. They know who you are, and it's sort of like putting your foot in the door then.
So what inspired me was because I like the fact that I could earn whilst I learn, and I'm getting that real hands-on experience in a workplace, and I'm getting the qualification at the end, which is what I wanted.
Another factor in choosing to do an apprenticeship rather than traditional forms of education would be because I've not always been the strongest at classroom learning, and sometimes I find it difficult to work when there's not real world scenarios and nothing really riding on that piece of coursework, whereas with an apprenticeship you're achieving real goals for a real company, and it does matter what you're doing, so it's very valuable in gaining you that sort of experience.
Everything is done within the company, so I don't have to go every Friday to a college. It's all done within the company, so it's a lot easier, and they provide laptops and they provide everything you need, so you don't need to go out and get it on your own. It's all within the company.
When I first started, I didn't know much about IE, and then when I came for my interview and I got to know more about the workplace and the people involved, I definitely thought that this was a place that I wanted to develop my career in. It's
a family business. You're not just a number, you are valued at IE.
From the moment I've started, my manager, my colleagues have always been supporting me. You know, I've had constant one-to-ones about my apprenticeship, seeing how I'm getting on, and I've always had that helping hand if I need it.
Did you know that apprenticeships can range from a level 2 traineeship to a higher level apprenticeship or a degree apprenticeship?
Apprenticeships allow you to gain a nationally recognised qualification while working in a real job.
You can earn while you learn.
I've secured a full-time position within the company after completion with my apprenticeship.
Apprenticeships are paid for by the government and your employer.
Right, now we know that young people have countless options open to them. So, Jonathan, why do you think apprenticeships are so attractive?
I think for the individual, it's about earning while they're learning, and that's really, attraction.
It's a big eye-opener for me.
Good. But also for us as a business, I mean, it is around, one, the attraction of new talent to our business through apprentice vacancies, but also for our existing employees, it's about taking them on their journey as well in terms of their skills development, their career progression, and feeling valued that they're being invested in, and then they'll stay with us, and then we've got great talent remaining with us as a business.
Brilliant. Santine, how about you? Why did you decide to take this path when I'm sure you had many options available to you? And what transferable skills did you learn from your apprenticeship?
Yeah, so I applied for uni at the same time as I applied for an apprenticeship. And I sort of had to do a bit of a pros and cons list. And I did find things like earning whilst learning really appealing. and the industry experience you get as well, which you wouldn't find in a uni course specifically. So that was really appealing to me.
Brilliant, thank you. Ali, let me bring you in. You've completed a degree apprentice. How did you weigh up going down the traditional route versus doing a degree apprenticeship?
So doing my degree apprenticeship, I think it's actually quite similar to going to university. The main difference you normally expect is, people go to university, they want to have that party life, etc. I still get those weeks where I do that, but it's not constant. I'm at work for most of the time. Every so often I'll get put away in a hotel somewhere in university, and also do that. So I guess it's very similar. I learn the exact same content. It's a lot more intense. That's the one thing, and I have a lot of stuff to do at work as well at the same time. It's very similar. It's just a larger workload, I think.
Brilliant. Similar, but some differences. Yeah. Love it. Jonathan, can you perhaps maybe share some advice on what makes apprenticeships or apprentices excel, really, at your company?
Yeah, sure. So for us, number one is to make them feel part of the Compass family.
Yeah.
So they feel valued from day one through a rigorous induction to Compass, but then also an induction to their delivery partner as well about their apprenticeship journey and what that means to them, so they fully understand that. And then most importantly, when they start that journey, it's about touching base with them in terms of through touchpoint calls. We pride ourselves, a member of my team will ring that apprentice and their line manager every month just to say, hi, how's your apprenticeship going, any issues, etc. But most importantly, that is a well-being call as well, to make sure that important question, are you okay? We do that so we then can put in place the right mechanisms to support that individual to continue.
That's brilliant and really, really good to hear. Santine, listen to what Jonathan has said. What do you think your next moves are in your career, and I guess what do you plan to do next?
Yeah, so Jonathan talks about obviously the guidance that you give apprentices, and I probably use that and the knowledge that we've got from the apprenticeship to just keep learning and keep moving further down my career. Especially as there's like new technologies developing, I'd love to sort of explore further down into that as well.
Is there any key one that you're sort of looking at, AI or anything like that?
Yeah, well, I recently did a bit of a stint in the condition-based maintenance team, and we got to use things like a robotic dog, which I found really interesting. Cool. So definitely something like that, or AI would be
brilliant. Thank you. Jonathan, apprenticeship programs can last or range from 1 year to many. What happens once an apprentice has finished their program?
Yeah, most importantly, once they've achieved, we celebrate that success because that's really important. We send them a congratulations email to say, well done. As part of that communication, it's what's next for you. So in terms of, have they changed job role? Has the apprenticeship supported them in that progression? And then we talk to them about what's their skills development next and what's their progression, what's their career aims. And we talk about what's next in terms of the next level. And if that's right for them, we start them. But if they want a break, we give them that time. But we're always there giving that advice in terms of next, because most importantly, we want to retain that great talent in our business.
That's truly, truly brilliant. Like, really, I might need to follow up with you. As we've heard, apprentices come in all different areas and can help you enter a career you might never have thought possible, or a company that you've always dreamed of working in. Our friends at Tarmac have prepared this video for us on what it's like to be an apprentice with them and the countless opportunities it can unlock.
I chose to do an apprenticeship because I found that I've always learnt best from doing things rather than just sitting and being told information. So I thought with an apprenticeship I'd be able to learn things and carry them out, which would be beneficial for me.
I chose to do an apprenticeship because I wanted to learn a trade that I'll be set for life.
I enjoy the fact that I can learn on the job, and at the end of the day I'm getting paid for a qualification, which is just great.
I chose an apprenticeship because I wanted the ability to grow and learn whilst gaining practical knowledge in the work field.
Before I started my apprenticeship, I was considering going to university. However, I decided against it due to the lack of structure. I think structure works well for me. I enjoy the fact that I have freedom with choosing when I want to work from home, when I want to work in the office. I also enjoy the fact that I've got stability, and it's nice to have an everyday job and a lot of structure within my life.
Being able to be outside, earning whilst learning, and being able to learn a trade that I'll be set for life with.
It's very much hands-on from like day one. I was out on site doing stuff.
Is the trust and the support that I'm given from my team. I feel like my work is given value and respected.
So in my apprenticeship, the thing I enjoy the most is the learning and development opportunities. I feel like I've got a really good network around me that want me to do the best I can and to develop and have a long-lasting career here at Tarmac.
My advice to anybody looking towards an apprenticeship is to just go for it. What is there to lose? The company is going to provide for you, the company is going to support you, and Tarmac, there's endless opportunities here.
It doesn't matter what age you are or gender, just if you find something that you want to do, I'd just say take the leap because it's the best decision that I made.
I'd apply for as many as possible that spark your interest, because you never know, because I didn't know I was interested in concrete plants, not many people do, but when you actually get and read the descriptions of on the advertisements, then you realise that you might enjoy it.
I'd say definitely try your hardest to go for it. Apprenticeships are a really good way to just jumpstart your career in an industry that you're really passionate about, and you may not have known that when you were 16, because when I was 16 I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Welcome back, Danny. Right, you participated in the Renewable Energy competition in 2024, a specific skills competition that drew heavily on transferable skills. Can you tell us more about this and how your apprenticeship helped prepare you?
Yeah, well, because my apprenticeship, I did electrical installation, so I'm an electrician, and the renewables competition also had a lot of mechanical and software-based stuff. I had to draw on the transferable skills, which meant the skills that I learned in the apprenticeship, electrical, there was also stuff to do with motors and pumps and whatnot. I had to confer with other trades. So then I learned a bit of the mechanical side, and the mechanical engineers had to speak with them, which meant that I understood the training that World Skills UK gave me to compete in the renewable competition. So that learning, even though I was doing electrical apprenticeship, the trades and other trades around about me and learning information from them also helped me to do not a completely different skills competition, but a different competition with different aspects like mechanical and software.
Yeah, I mean, that's truly incredible to even have the platform to do that and the skills alone to do it as well. Truly, truly incredible. Chloe, you embarked on a career in STEM. Why did you choose apprenticeship given all the available options as well?
So mainly earn as you learn. It's a good option just for what I wanted. And a lot of the time I struggled in school to focus in the classroom, as well as being dyslexic was a struggle as well. So I knew I didn't want to go on a career path down starting like A-levels or going to university or anything. And I didn't just want to go and get just a regular job, which if that's what you want to do, there's nothing wrong with that. But I just wanted a trade job, which a lot of the time you do have to have qualifications for. So I just decided to go for an apprenticeship. It took me a few times to find what I wanted to do, and it was more just I took a chance and I ended up really enjoying what I do.
That's brilliant, and that's sometimes all it takes, doesn't it, just a chance. What would you say is one favourite thing in your current role and why?
The finished work. So there's so many aspects of the job that I do enjoy, like the painting, even masking up. People find it boring, but I'm very OCD with it, and I do really enjoy it. But just when you finish baking and you bring the car out and seeing the work that you've done, it just feels really rewarding.
That finish article.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Ali, you're about to complete your second apprenticeship, right? Why did you decide to do a second apprenticeship after the first, and what opportunities are there for you to progress within your business now?
The main reason I wanted to go into the second one was the first one covered a lot of aspects, mechanical, electrical, test, a lot more aspects than it was supposed to, but I still was very hungry to learn, and I wanted to get a degree, and it was a mixed degree that you can't really get through a traditional route. You either have electrical or mechanical degree. An apprenticeship's the only thing that offers both, so that was the reason why. I'd further my learning through design and programming, and that's really the reason why I kind of went down that route, was just because I wanted to continue my learning, and that was the best thing for me, for my career path, to then further progress into different job roles and build myself up through the company. And for example, now I've been through pretty much every department, I've worked on pretty much every project that's come through SurePack since I've been there, which has been now more than 5 years. And yeah, it's just the respect of learning for me is massive, I guess.
I mean, it's really, really interesting what you said there, that apprenticeship was the only route really for you to take that next step. I guess there's one sort of other thing. There's a perception that those on an apprenticeship are paid less than those who go to university. Would you say this is the case, Ali?
Not necessarily. I put it this way to most people. If you go to university, you come out after 4 years, you're in debt. For the 4 years that someone's on an apprenticeship, they've been earning money. When they've got 4 years experience and you have no experience but a degree, employers essentially pay for what you can do. Experience means sometimes more than a qualification. An apprenticeship offers you both. And you know, on a personal note, yeah, I didn't start off on the best wage, but now, even as an apprentice, I'd say my wage surpasses that of what a lot of people think is possible as an apprentice. Again, I think it's based upon what you can do. If you can prove to your employer, you know, I'm going to handle all of this work and I'm worth this much. There's always sort of a cap because they're paying for your studies and, you know, you're off the job for 20%, but it helps. Like, you can earn a lot of money as an apprentice, and I'll say that from personal experience. A lot more than what people think is.
That's brilliant. Thank you. I mean, that's really, really brilliant. You start off and then you build and build and build. Sort of a group sort of question. Have any of you had any challenges around the workplace or concerns from your family? Danny, maybe anything from you, Chloe?
For me, because my dad's an electrician, he understands the trades and he had a lot of experience in that anyway, so doing the apprenticeship, he completely supported that and gave me no issues when I went down that route.
Chloe?
I don't think I had any challenges in the aspect of the workplace, but with college, it's a whole new ballgame with travelling, and a lot of people leave school expecting the college to be down the road, but sometimes you don't always have that option, and you've got to take in not just the travelling aspects, like your time and problems that may occur on the way. And it is challenging to try and organise it all yourself, but it does give you a sense of responsibility as well.
Which is so important when you're starting out a career. Danny, actually coming back to you, what's one piece of advice you can offer those considering an apprenticeship?
One piece of advice, if...
It's a big one.
Yeah, you just need a second to think. If you're looking at apprenticeship or university, you really need to... Everyone thinks apprentices get paid less, so if you take the money out of the equation, what would you want to do? And if it involves, if you break it down the steps, if you want to be an engineer, maybe going to uni is the right way, but if you're not going to learn at uni, if you don't learn in a classroom, maybe apprenticeship is the best way to do it, because then you're going hands-on tools, you're learning. That's what I found best in my own personal life. I learned hands-on, and now I'm getting more into the control side of electrical installation and the instrumentation. I'm actually learning more about it than if I'd went to uni, I feel like.
It's about finding the right fit for you, isn't it? At the Big Assembly, we want to dispel every myth about apprenticeships. As our panel has told you firsthand, apprenticeships are for everyone and the best route for almost any career, whether it be construction, finance, or even science. I see our audience are itching to ask some questions, so who wants to go first? Where's the mic man? Here we go. Who's going first? We've got a hand over there.
How do you balance work and study, and do you still have time for a social life while managing both?
Brilliant. Thank you. So how do you balance work and study, and do you have time for a social life and managing both? Ali, I want to throw this one to you, because you mentioned your social life there. So how do you balance it all?
You do get 20% off the job. And the myth with 20% off the job that people don't know is, so I get paid for 5 days a week. One of those days where I'm getting paid, essentially, I'm just at home doing uni work. The other thing that helps with my social life is every 2 to 3 months, I'll get put just with the University of Nottingham, either in a hotel or university accommodation. I'm studying during that week, but also I'm around all of my friends and all of my uni partners. I wouldn't say you have as much freedom as if you were just going to university. You just simply don't. But if you can manage your time, you have to, balance stuff in your life. you know, choose the time, how much work you have to do. As long as you plan ahead, you can balance it as a social life. You do also gain extra social factors from that, from, you know, doing an apprenticeship. You meet new people, and your social circle slightly changes as well. It becomes a bit more professional, because now you have a set of work colleagues as well, which you essentially will become your friends, believe it or not. So various aspects to balancing it. It's just the way that you want to work it.
Brilliant answer. Chloe, I know that you mentioned earlier, you know, sort of the balancing of it, and I know that you've kind of got a really interesting structure. Do you want to share a bit about that?
Yeah, so with Arnold Clark and a lot of other big companies, if you're going for an apprenticeship with them, the way obviously the regular working week of an apprentice would normally be 4 days at work and then either the last day or the first day of the week at college. With Arnold Clark especially, they do it so it's a 6-week working week, and then I travel up to Glasgow to go to college, and I stay there for a week at a time. So with the work and social life balance, I don't actually have to do that. So I'm obviously at work Monday to Friday, 5 days a week, and then that 1 week I'm in Glasgow for 5 days. But any like sort of written work or theory work that we've got to do, we do that whilst we're there. So we sort of, any time after work or college, that's our free time.
Brilliant. Thank you. So you got 2 answers there, 2 different routes. I hope that answered your question. Brilliant. Next one.
As an apprentice, do you feel you're treated equally to other employees in the company?
Ooh, good one. As an apprentice, do you feel you're treated equally to other employees in the company? I'm actually going to throw this one to Jonathan.
To answer the question, absolutely. At Compass, inclusion is at the heart of everything we do, and we want our apprentices to be treated exactly the same as an employee. But, as I said, we do provide that wraparound support to make sure that you're safe, you're looked after, you're making progress, and most of all, you enjoy what you're doing.
Brilliant. You've got it there. Straight from the horse's mouth. Any more questions? One more?
Where did you first learn about apprenticeship opportunities?
Where did you first learn about apprenticeship opportunities? Who am I going to throw this one to? Chloe?
So I had a few family members that went down the apprenticeship route. Obviously, it was promoted a lot in school because, well, just before I was leaving, that's when it first became a big thing and everyone was going about it. But mainly just from seeing things on the internet and things like that. And it just really caught my eye, just obviously because I am very hands-on and I prefer to do practical work. It just caught my eye a lot more than anything else.
Brilliant, thank you. Santine, I've not heard from you for a while. Do you have a different background or how you found apprenticeships?
So when I learnt about apprenticeships, it was through school, personally. So we had careers events, different companies coming in, and just through research as well, you know, they give you a little leaflet, go home, look at the company, see what sort of things they offer and provide, and that's how I learnt about them.
Brilliant, thank you. Threw you on the spot there.
Yeah.
I hope that answered your question. Brilliant. So, where are we going now? So you've got all the perspectives, and I guess what we're trying to say is that no matter what barriers you face, an apprenticeship is for you. Whether you're a school leaver, an employee looking to upskill, or an employer looking to enhance their workforce. Right, we're almost finished, but I want to return to our panel one last time before we go. I want each of you to sum up why an apprenticeship is so great in just one word. We'll go from you, Ali, all the way down.
Confidence.
Brilliant.
Responsibility.
Lovely.
Experience.
Great.
That's the one I was going to use.
Oh!
Should
I count that? I'm thinking, dun, dun.
Whilst you're learning.
There you go.
Opportunities.
Brilliant. All brilliant, brilliant answers. Thank you very much for those, guys. Put you on the spot there. And look, sadly, guys, that's it from us. But it's been an incredible show, and I feel inspired to even do my next apprenticeship. A big thank you, firstly, to our panel, Jonathan, Ali, Chloe, Danny, and Santine. You've all been incredible. But also the incredible team at Compass Group, UK and Ireland, right here in Birmingham for hosting us. And last but certainly not least, a big thank you to everyone watching and sitting at home or online. Whether you're a student, teacher, parent, employer, or anyone in between, we hope that you found the Big Assembly useful. I hope that this has inspired you as you consider your next step in your career. If you enjoyed the Big Assembly 2025, tag us on social media and share your thoughts using #BigAssembly. Plus, let us know your feedback by scanning the QR code at the end of the stream to complete our short survey. We'd love to hear from you. Make sure you keep an eye on our website, www.bigassembly.org, for more Big Assembly extra content throughout National Apprenticeship Week and the rest of the year. For career leaders and teachers, our Ask Ambassadors are here to support your schools with free and impartial apprenticeship guidance. For any bookings, reach out to us at bookingsrequestask@workpace.co.uk. Finally, a special message from the Minister of Skills, Jackie Smith. Again, I'm Taf Muchenja, and I've been your host for the Big Assembly 2025. Thank you very much for joining, and see you all next year.
Hi, I'm Jackie. It's National Apprenticeship Week. What a fantastic week, focused on why apprenticeships can be the next right step for you. And this Big Assembly is being shared by an incredible number of schools and colleges, with over 160,000 live viewers last year. So let's see if we can beat that this year. My boss, the Prime Minister, has been completely clear. He wants skills training to make sure everyone has the opportunity to live the life they dreamed of, doing a job they've always wanted. Today, you'll have heard from some inspirational apprentices like Ali Amin and Danny McBean, and fantastic employers in Compass Group and Boots. Their stories will give you the proof that apprenticeships can provide you with skills for life, whatever you want to do in that working life. This country has a world-leading apprenticeship system. There are lots of different apprenticeship standards available, meaning whether your passion is in manufacturing or marketing, in fashion or finance, there's an apprenticeship for you. And as an apprentice, you will earn a salary whilst getting the skills and experience you need for your future career. A remarkable 94% of apprentices that complete their training go into work or further training, many remaining with their employer following their apprenticeship. You'll have heard from many people today about the amazing opportunities that are available to help you start the career of your dreams. Just remember, everybody's got their own journey, and I hope you find what works for you. Whatever routes you choose, apprenticeships can provide you with the skills for life and give you the opportunity to make the most of your potential. Who knows, it could be you on a future Big Assembly panel.